secrets are the one thing that remains in WRC 2001 for the PS2. And ultimately, I'm going to showcase those now, because then it means my 2024 target of putting together 12 finished playthroughs will officially be met. So to start off with, I'm going to unlock all of the bonus stages. Of course, I did show this before in the previous episode, and if you haven't watched that already, then please go and check it out. I do show you what the bonus stages look like if you're interested, and I'll leave it somewhere in the video cards as well, if you really want to go for a look. So, yeah. So that is what we get for unlocking all of the bonus stages, and the top one was locked before, but because I activated the cheat code to unlock all of these, well, as you can see, all of them are now unlocked and free for usage. But of course, I've already showcased all of the bonus stages before, so it's mainly just going to be the secrets I showcase now. And our second cheat code allows us to pretty much unlock everything. As in, if you really don't want to make any progress in the game whatsoever, you can just put in the Open Sesame cheat code, which basically allows you to unlock everything without making any progress whatsoever. And that's also, of course, if you just, well, want to be lazy and not really do anything in the game, but obviously, I prefer not to do that because I like to be progressional with these things. So that shows we've now unlocked everything. Pretty much everything in this game is now unlocked because of the Open Sesame code. And I think what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I'm going to put in the Helium Aid cheat code, which allows the co-driver voice to be higher than what it would normally be. Because typically, of course, Helium does, of course, increase the pitch as well as the sound of your voice to something that sounds a bit more squeaky. And although I have never had helium in my voice before, I have established with plenty of evidence that helium does, of course, increase the pitch of your voice. And as you can see there, we've now activated the sped up co-driver calls. And something else I might as well showcase whilst I'm here is the helicopter view, for which we just need to put in the code down below. And just like that, we have now unlocked the top-down camera, something which I think I will showcase now, because why not? So, I'm going to head over to let's do a time trial stage for this one. And I think to start with, we're going to head to... yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's go to Cyprus. And the stage I'll go to... well, don't want this to take too long, so let's have a look. Yeah, we'll do stage 3. Oh yeah, and I did also put together a previous attempt of recording this, and in all honesty, it did not go very well, so that's why I'm trying this again. And I think to start with, yeah, we'll do what we did before and use the Evo 6. And I think this time will be... well, I've been both of these guys before, so yeah, let's be Freddy. And as for the setup, not going to change anything. Okay, let's go. So if you look here, you will notice that we have an overhead view of the Evo 6. And of course, I'm obviously not going to be driving in this view for very long, because if I do, then, well, catastrophe will occur. Because, as I've already shown, of course, this is not the most ideal driving view to be in. And it's fair to say, of course, that I'm basically driving from about the view of me staring down at an ant. And I think it's fair to say that I'm not going to be here for too long because, well, as you can imagine, driving from the overhead view, it's way harder than you think. Although I will give myself credit for putting together that incredible flip that somehow worked. Okay, that's enough of that. And now we will return to the main menu for our next cheat code, for which I have showcased 4 of the 10 cheat codes that we get in this game. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the down below cheat code, because if I don't, then, well, you will not be able to see me doing any actual driving without basically trying to kill myself, which is more or less what I would be doing. So, if we put in the same code again, we can deactivate the cheat code we've launched. Basically, you just have to put in the same code again and then press OK, and then, boom, it's gone and you're back to what you were doing before. And now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put in, let's go with Evo Power, because we are now going into more power baby mode. Increased acceleration and top speed, which means the car itself, whichever one we drive, it's going to be twice as fast. And I think to test this out, let's head to... yeah, we'll head to Spain. And we are going to do... sure, we can do stage 1. And I think the car I'll drive this time will drive... yeah, let's drive the Peugeot for this one. And as for the driver I'm going to play as... sure, we'll play as Marcus for this one, because why not? Okay, let's go. So as you're about to see, the car itself will be much faster. And I did actually set a default time for this stage before. I think the initial time was a 2:11 if I'm not mistaken. In other words, it was 2 minutes 11 seconds that I set for the stage, but I did of course do one run here before, and I was pretty sure the record time I set was ironically 2 minutes 4, but because I crashed a lot, I'm convinced in saying the time itself would have been faster had I not kept putting myself either in the guardrail or just in the wall. I think the top speed I achieved previously was 2:13 if I'm not mistaken, and while the top speed I've achieved up to this point from what I can recall now is 2:06. So I think it's fair to say that with less speed compared to what I had before, this run seems to be going better, or at least it did before that happened. But at the very least it does look to be going better than my previous run was going. So I gotta say, this is insane. But at least I can say with the increased power, I am able to get on the brakes just as quickly. And looks like... I went 23.25 seconds faster. Virtually 23.3 seconds faster than my previous best time. That's just how much cleaner my run was in the end. I definitely feel like I'm going to have to save that replay, because there is something else I am willing to show you. Man, I gotta say, that run actually felt really good, plus I was way faster on that run than I was on my previous run. In fact, it felt so good that I'm literally going to have to overwrite the replay I saved before. And I figure whilst I'm at it, and I've now showcased... What is this now? I think I've now showcased either 5 or 6 cheat codes. I'm convinced in saying it's 6. Because we still have the other effects to showcase. Because we have the psychedelic effects, the reverse camera, the subwater effects, and the car without chassis cheat codes to showcase. And I think the first of those I'm going to showcase, that's going to be the... why do I keep pressing options? Anyway. I think the first one I'm going to showcase is the flying cars during replays cheat code. And basically, this is more or less the sort of pace you technically set with your car during one of the stages, but what you also get to do is you get to see what your pace looks like from when your car is basically in mid-air. Basically still on the road, but the car itself is pretty much in mid-air. And of course, if I view the replay now, I will be able to show you this, which is what I'm doing now. This may take a minute to load, so do bear with me, as I will edit this out. So this is what the replay looks like from above. And... oh well. And in spite of me stalling out on the start, I still somehow managed to get virtually less than 25 seconds faster than my previous best effort. And yes, there will be an in-the-air shot of the Peugeot whilst I'm here. The top speed I set previously in this car was 213, and I think the top speed I set on this run was either 204 or 206, which is ironic because this car quite literally is the Peugeot 206. And I'm also pretty sure that there is definitely a sense of irony in it for obvious reasons. Aside from that one moment where I turned the car over and landed door side, the rest of the run just felt so natural. I also did not think I was going to actually save the car after I got caught on that rock. I really thought for sure that was going to flip the car over again, but against all the odds, I somehow saved it. But I think it is fair to say that if you have less speed, then in some cases you can go faster. Anyway, that's pretty much what you get when your car is floating in mid-air during the replays. And I think what I'm now going to do is I'm going to showcase the subwater effects. I keep thinking the secrets area is in the options for some reason. I don't know why the fuck I'm still doing that. Anyway. So next up we have the psychedelic effects, which can be activated by putting in the code I'm going crazy. I'm also pretty sure there's a Jean Grey song by the name of Going Crazy. At least I believe there is. A lot of people don't really know who Jean Grey is, but if you're familiar with the Midnight Club 3 soundtrack, then you probably will know who Jean Grey is, because that's technically where a lot of people know her in video games. I don't know what she's doing now, but a lot of people do recognise her by name because of her fucking song appearances in Midnight Club 3. So as you just saw there, psychedelic effects. I probably clicked too fast in order to showcase that, but as ever, I'm going to spend about probably 30 seconds or so showcasing the where should we head to? Sure, let's head to Finland. Yeah. Sure. And I think what I'm gonna test the psychedelic effects on will be, yeah, let's use the Skoda for this. And we'll use Bruno Thierry this time, since we used Armin Schwartz last time. And without further ado, let's begin. So this is what the psychedelic effects look like. And as you can hear there, of course, with the helium notes. I'm probably going to spend, 20, maybe 30 seconds doing this. So I'm not going to stick around for very long in this mode, because I'd imagine some of you may potentially get... because I'd imagine some of you might get headaches from this, but either way, this is more or less what the psychedelic effects look like. I don't think I'm going to set a full stage time, but I'll showcase it for about a minute and then I'll turn it off again to showcase the underwater effects. Showcase this for about a minute and then after that, I'll be out of here. Okay, I think I've spent long enough now in psychedelic mode. Let's now showcase the subwater effects. So that's now the end of the psychedelic effects, and as ever, I am of course going to turn that off because, well, this, as I've said before, is how you deactivate the codes you use. So the psychedelic visual effect has now been switched off, and now I'm going to switch on the subwater effects, which is activated by putting in wibbly wobbly. And now we have the underwater effects. And I'm probably going to head over to a wet stage to showcase this. So I'm not going to head to Great Britain because I think that might be a pain in the ass. Let's head to New Zealand. See if we can find a wet stage here. I think there is one here somewhere. Do we have a wet stage? Yeah, I guess this'll do. And once again, we are going to use the Skoda because that's what we used for the psychedelic effects. And because, well, Bruno Thierry, because, well, why not? So these are the subwater effects. I'm probably going to spend, about maybe a minute or so, well, probably less than a minute showcasing this, just to show you what the effects look like. I think I'll probably make it less than a minute for this one because, well, I can see there being people complaining to me about potential headaches with this effect. And maybe that's just me, but the truth is, I don't really feel like I want to be in this mode for too long, so... Anyway, this is what the subwater effects look like, and... You know what? I think that's long enough. You get the idea. So now we have just one more in-stage effect to showcase. So I'm going to deactivate Wibbly Wobbly, and I may delete this bit because, well, and I may also delete this bit because it may take a bit for me to fully put in the code. And there we go. The underwater visual effect is now turned off. And now, the only thing I need to do is put in on the ceiling, and then that will be the last of our in-stage effects we need to showcase. As we now have the cameras pointing upside down. And I'm probably not going to do a completed run because I think that'll take too long, and also because this video, as I'm recording this now, is already 25 minutes long, so yeah, it's probably best if I don't waste your time. Oh, yeah, that's where I wanted to go. Sure, stage 1, why not? And I think for this, yeah, let's use the Ford Focus. And we'll be Carlos Sainz, since we used Colin McRae in the previous episode. And as you can see, the camera is now upside down. So I'm probably going to spend about 30 seconds or so realistically doing this because, well, if I don't, then it's fair to say that this whole thing is more or less going to be a catastrophe, because I at least want to make sure that I have everything worked out. Yeah, 30 seconds should do it. I'm not really bothered about setting the overall stage time whilst I'm upside down because I don't want to. So now, gonna head over to extras for one last time, as we have one last cheat code to showcase. So I'm gonna deactivate the upside down cameras because I don't need them. That's good. And in its place, we have the That's Stupid cheat code, which basically removes the bodywork from the car. We can still do the stage, but obviously the car itself will be without its body panels. Oh. Wait, hold on. How's that invalid? I don't know. Wait, hold on. There we go. It's because I accidentally put in that space before. Anyway, we have now removed the car shell. And what that now means is we can put together one last run. And fuck it, I'll go to Kenya again, and well, I want to deliver my closing thoughts, so let's go to we'll do stage 4. And we will do this by showcasing the other Ford Focus WRC livery in this game, and that belongs to Francois Delacour and Danielle Gratalou. I hope I said that right. Anyway, let's go. And so, this is what the car looks like without the body shell fitted. And I figured I might as well check one more thing whilst I'm here. And it doesn't look like the interior view has changed in any way whatsoever, so not too surprised about that, but altogether, I'd say this looks okay. It definitely showcases what a rally car of this sort looks like if it was ever going to be in the modified series, I would say. But anyway, there we go. So, that was WRC 2001 for the PlayStation 2, and altogether, I think Evolution, they did a really good job of making sure that this game stood out as being what was considered a genuinely solid sim racing game for rallying, which is more or less what this is. And it would also be the start of, ironically, many WRC games to come, for which I believe, as of 2024, there is a total of 19 installations for the WR series as a whole, with the initial stint lasting from 2001 to 2005, and then after a 5-year hiatus since I think it's 2010, where the series itself got back on track again, and since then, of course, there have been, I think, a total of 14 installments for the WR series as we know it today. Oh, fuck me. And things are not going very well at the moment. Well, I'm really not surprised. But yeah, I mean, the pace notes are accurate, the surfaces, I would say, are accurate, and just, well, everything else in between. It's pretty much everything you could ask for from a rally game. It's very much a sim racing game of its time, and, you know, there are bits of that early games, PlayStation 2 jank, which was commonplace for the time, and a few other bits and pieces I'm no doubt missing, but either way, I think it is fair to say you can cope with that, and it's fair to say that altogether, this has been a lot of fun. And it also completes my goal of putting together 12 completed playthroughs before the end of 2024, which personally, I'm okay with. And at some point in the near future, we will of course be playing WRC 2, which I have heard is going to be harder than this with the Pro Championship, because we're actually going to have to fight to score the Professional Championship, and as I would have expected, my car is damaged on nearly all fronts. I have no idea why it just suddenly said return to the track when I was already on the track. Don't know why that's the case, but either way. And I am way out wide. But yeah, altogether, I was only 1 second off the record time in the end. But yeah, altogether, I think this is a good game. You should definitely give it a go if you haven't done so already. I'd say the experience was definitely worth my time, and there were times, of course, where I did get frustrated, as you probably heard me on camera a few times, but that's, I guess you could say, natural, because, well, I was doing it in the heat of the battle, but either way, I still enjoyed this game at the end of the day, and, well, the replay music is copyrighted, so that's why you cannot hear any replay music in the background, but altogether, I like this game. This game is actually pretty good, and it is fair to say that things would more or less go uphill from here. So, yeah, that pretty much does it for WRC 01, and there's not really much else for me to say. So, until the next one, I'm Jordan Mustang 87, saying thanks for watching, and also thanks to everyone who got my channel up to 600 subs before the end of the year. It's greatly appreciated, and I feel like we might be able to go further in 2025, since I am less than 2 days away from 2025 as of recording this. So this will either come out on the 30th or the 31st. But altogether, yeah. So, thanks for watching this Let's Play, and until the next one, I'm Jordan Mustang 87, saying see you all in 2025. And until then, we'll catch you on the flip side.